All right. I want to talk about technical terms and other such that are thrown around in oftentimes in the media, uh, whether they're the corporate media or or the uh, the government-funded media, such as PBS, the ones that we call public broadcasting services, which the oh crap, I can't think of the other one. But BBC and PBS are basically that. Although there is the difference. The BBC, you're forced by law to pay, and that doesn't seem like a logical or reasonable or even a free idea about liberty and freedom and all that other stuff. If you're forced to pay for it, and the consequences of not paying for it sounds more like a authoritarian dictatorship. And then not only that, but even when you do, when you do pay for it and you accept paying for it, and you can't see to it that the misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, and all that other stuff is kept out, and you don't have any say in it, then I hope you get where I'm going with this. But anyways, this is getting off topic. I think it's important that all media starts to do something about just tossing terms like recession, market economy, and other technical terms, fungible, all that other stuff. I think there's a lot of people that have, except for the people that actually take part in it, and I don't even think, and they've even admitted that they don't understand a lot of that, and basically, they make it up as they go. One thing that has become more and more established as being a truth and a fact is that the more and more you repeat, whether it's accurate or not, or based on reality. So basically, you can lie, you can make up, you can do whatever you want. You repeat it 5 times or more. You basically cement it. You stick it. You make it stick. So I think, many people that aren't in those so-called expertise, I think there's not a clearer idea or picture. I think the vast majority of us have not even a fuzzy idea of what it is. So when you're talking about recession, and you put it in your title, then you need to describe what a recession is, and you need to put context in for the wider scope of what brings on a recession, what constitutes the framework and all the other dynamics that come into it. So market economy. I think that's another one we should cover. you get what I mean. All these technical terms that is often it's in books, it's in newspapers, it's in TV shows, movies, everything. But there's really not a good contextual understanding, and I think people need to be informed about this, and I think it bears repeating, so that people get a clearer picture, a clearer idea of what is being talked about, so that they have at least some sort of a primary understanding and contextualized understanding, so that you can when you hear it, you can say, well, no, that's doesn't make sense, or that doesn't follow through. So people are informed about what they're consuming through the media, to talking, because most of us don't trade in stocks. Most of us don't have businesses, small or otherwise. And I think that's one way to tackle the disinformation and misinformation, to give a clarity. So I recommend those who are trying to be journalists to do this, and wash, rinse, and repeat. Keep repeating it, so that it sticks, so that people get a more critical understanding, and the independent media, the real true journalists, the ones that like to cover sourced real facts and truths, can educate their audience at the same time, so that people get already starting to have a critical basic critical understanding, and so when they're watching you, when they're listening to you, then they're not just relying on what you say, and have a better overall understanding, and that's one of the foundations of journalism. That's one of the foundations of education, higher education, and so on and so forth. And it's something that I think a lot of journalists seem to have forgotten, independent or otherwise. Of course, the establishment corporate media and the ones that prop up the establishment and feed the disinformation and misinformation, they know they are doing they're doing that, and I think a lot of independent media often can't seem to wrap their heads around the fact that they do know, and they keep giving them these passive excuse making for them, as if like when they cover something and they talk about how they're doing this, but then they say, well, they could be all, maybe that. And it's like, stop doing that. Just call it out. And stop making excuses for them, because it is. I'm positive that they look at it, and when they hear it and they say, see, they're not coming out outright and saying, oh, we're nefarious, and we are against the actual public we're supposed to be serving. and we're making them more ignorant and stupid and easier to manipulate. That's what journalists need to do, and they need to pound that through. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. And the thing is independent journalists like Mint Press, Gray Zone, People's Dispatch, Australia's Citizens Party, which covers a lot of stuff, and they talk about geopolitics as well as domestic politics. And actually, you know what? Stop calling it politics. You know, that's another thing that I'm trying to walk away from. You know, it's not politics. What it is it's propaganda. It's disinformation, misinformation. It's propping up the ideals and motivations of a few. So, you know, I think we need to make that clear. I think we need to push that, because it's a factual reality, and I think people need to take a more concrete stance, and we need to all start working on repeating the narratives, because we do. Even I do it. Like, you know, I put in politics. Politics is just another word for I want to screw over as many as possible, so I can and control them and influence them and herd them and lead them to serve my needs, my wants, my will, my authority. That's what it basically comes down to. And I think we need to all start to think in those terms and clear the cobwebs of the narratives out, and you know, and lead people to getting a better understanding. There's the Citizens Party has a ex diplomat, Australian diplomat, John Landers. He did a entire speech about the myth of I forget the title, the myth of Chinese aggression, or the myth of China being the enemy, or something like that. Watch that. It's a great speech, and so I recommend doing that. But you know, we need to correct it. We need to correct our own thinking, because it's that old saying of indoctrination and conditioning. And the thing is we have to stop. We have to break the conditioning. We are conditioned. Even me. I mean, I'm starting to learn to be more critically thinking. I'm still in the process of getting angry about all the malign, malicious, and devious actions. But the thing is you know, I'd rather do that than not, and because, you know, we have to understand. And I don't get angry just for myself. I get angry for us all collectively, and because, you know, it's they're not being affected. These would-be rulers who want to enter a new age of aristocracy, of feudal aristocracy, feudal-like aristocracy. You know, this neo-feudal aristocracy they're trying to create. And the thing is you know, they can only do it with our complacency or our willingness to go along, and that's what we need to break. And the only way you can break it is to not just throw about these terms, but to give a better understanding of those terms, and so that there is a basis for understanding. All right? Thanks.